Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Unapologetics, the unapologetic progressive skeptic's response to the fucking internet. I'm Brently, and here today we have a very special guest, or guests, actually. We got a couple guests. We have Alex and, how do I say it? It's Norval? Norval, of course. Yep. That of course I'd mispronounce that. Norval. And Norval. Norval is in the band The Curse. The Curse, right. Actually.
Because of the exclamation mark.
Yes.
The Curse!
Yes.
The Curse!
So tell me a little bit about The Curse and like what you're doing there.
Well, you know, we're a politically charged punk rock group. We also have a strong death rock bit of DNA.
Oh, yeah.
There's not much else to say about a punk death rock band, is there?
No, you covered all your bases there. Politically driven.
That's all you need to know about The Curse.
You have a couple dope originals.
Yeah, we've got some originals. We were getting ready to record our full-length LP just before we got quarantined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been making quarantine videos where everybody records their separate parts at home and sends them in here to Normal Sound Recording. I mix them together, send them back to our drummer, Johnny Dritz, and he does with Dritz Productions. And
nice.
He does the video editing. And then voila, video.
Holy shit. Is that like a complicated process of like, I mean, is it really hard to like be in sync with each part of what's going on?
Yeah, a little bit. But you know, we record to each record to a click track and to each other's tracks. We start whoever's most comfortable with the song that we're playing. Last time it was drums first, and then he sent that off to bass. We sent that off to both guitar players.
Okay.
And then we sent them in, with backup vocals and everything tracked. Since we've been playing a while, so we're about 2 years old as a band, maybe 3 years old as a band.
Oh wow!
So we know the songs, and I have tempo maps for most of them, charted out in Pro Tools here, so I can have like a dynamic blip, click track.
Oh right.
Everyone.
Okay, so right on.
If it speeds up in the chorus or whatever, we've got it. We got you, Curse.
I also like blip crack.
Yeah. Blip crack.
I always perform for a blip crack.
Yeah, it does sound like a 90s new wave or new school punk band, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely sounds like that. Yes.
Blip crack and Grip Shine.
What's up? We're
Their
Blip Crack.
so big.
We're gonna play another song about a girl that I used to know.
Yes, but she did not know who he was at all.
So let me I should mention all the people that are in my band. They're all fucking fantastic. This is my favorite thing about my band is how well we all get along. We're all such good friends, and we really support each other and have through this fucking year, and it has been real tough on all of us. So on vocals, we have Tara Terrible.
Nice.
On rhythm guitar, we've got Eric Real Life, or Eric Grant. I don't know if he actually uses this band pseudonym or not. On bass is Mr. Hurtis Maximus. And
nice.
On drums is Dritz. Johnny Dritz.
Oh, I love the nicknames. That was like one of my favorite things about being punk in the 90s. Was just like, you got a nickname, and you didn't pick it. Everybody else did.
No. If you picked it, we were on to you.
Yeah.
And a new and much worse one.
Like, just call me this. And they're like, no, you're this now. Now your name sucks.
Is Robbie Chaos. No, it's not Hog Scrotum.
and then you're stuck with that. That's it. It's like you already fucked yourself with that one.
Yep.
My friend used to say, they call me the doctor.
The doctor.
You're like, who calls you the doctor?
No
We're the
one.
only people you know. We do not call you the fucking doctor.
You have 4 friends. We're all sitting right here, and we refuse to fucking call you the doctor.
We will never call you the doctor.
Just the they.
Until it's behind your back, and then we're like, what the doctor said.
We will
And
only
it's more
use it as a
sarcastic
weapon.
and ironic, Yeah.
Oh, you mean Mr. MD?
Very good.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Well, see, the thing is, I always knew you. I always knew you as Billy Scam, when you were like this, sort of like when we were coming up in the scene. When I was like, I swear I was like fucking 12 years old, in the downtown St. Petersburg, Florida scene. You were Billy Scam, the fucking notorious Billy Scam.
My age now.
I can't. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I'm fucking old. So
I mean, when I was 24 in the downtown punk rock scene.
And the lead role in the camp classic horror movie Rot, which was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, that fucking thing.
I loved it, dude. I fucking loved it. That was like one of my. I mean, that was the first time I ever saw somebody throw up in somebody's. And by the way, when I was rewatching that, Nikki was like, "I'm out. I'm done. Nope. I can't. I'm not watching this."
Shut it down.
I think it holds up. I don't know about y'all.
It really holds up, dude. It does. It is camp
it's held up better than Blades.
Yeah.
All the toilet prayer. That's the best.
And surprise penis. There was more than one surprise penis.
Several times.
There were several surprise penises.
None of them were happy
of.
to be there.
It's my favorite thing about Rod.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like, what happened? Like, because this was the '90s before everybody could make a fucking movie. You know, I mean, that was a time when not everybody had all this equipment to be able to just make crazy movies, easily.
We didn't really either. It was a righteous pain in the dick to pull it off, but making like horror movies and effects was something that my circle of friends had always done. Since we were much younger than that, we had been making these things. There were always buckets of fake blood in our garages, and at one time, in her house, we had built about 8 or 9 foot tall.
It was a very large closet monster that had a sort of orifice in the middle. So it wasn't unlike a giant closet.
It was a 12-foot monster vulva that our
kids a big old, she had tentacles. It was exceptional.
Oh, that is so awesome.
This is not hyperbole. This is the thing that was built.
They made it. We made it.
That lived in her house for 6 months at least.
Oh, it was longer. Yeah, she was there for a while.
Yeah, it was hard to make.
It was hard
to tear down the great vulva.
But we learned a lot about latex, and we would also the kind of group of friends would make these horror movies, but also do charity haunted houses for Girls Inc.
That's right.
Oh, cool.
So we also all met doing that, like Dracula haunted houses, and
we'll say our circle expanded in those times.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And at that time, I was the little 11, 12-year-old kid getting my guts ripped out in front of people for fun.
That's got to be a good day for everybody,
Oh my God, it was amazing. My mom fucking hated it, but I thought it was dope.
It's like, you're making a mess.
Yeah, exactly.
We made some messes.
Serious mess.
It's true.
That's so cool, man. And I'm gonna put the video of the Rot in the show notes so that y'all can check it out. And I'm gonna post it to our Facebook page as well. So definitely check that out.
I believe that there is currently a push to put Rot on Blu-ray, which I think is funny because who the fuck has a Blu-ray anymore?
Yeah. That one didn't really last.
Why not Betamax?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't last.
This is what's happening.
Do it.
May Rot live on.
Yes.
In infamy.
Long live Rot.
You can't stop the Rot.
Can't stop the Rot. Yeah. It'll spread.
Exactly.
So that guy who played Dr. Robert Olson, which the Rot was named after, the Robert Olson transmutation virus.
The details are killing me.
The man who played it was a sort of famous B-movie actor from Florida for doing Christian karate movies, where he would run into the forest and karate kick people until he found Jesus.
Oh my
many films. Alex and I, in fact, when we were recording, we sort of bonded over a Joel Wynkoop marathon, if you will. And we watched about at least 16 hours straight of Wynkoop films.
Oh my good God.
And interviews, we really did the deep dive on the Wynkoop.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Motherfucking Wynkoop. He is the man. That is one crazy bastard.
So what is Wynkoop? Boy, what is that for the... For everybody listening.
That's his name, Joel Wynkoop.
Oh, Joel Wynkoop. And
yes.
Oh wow, and he did like a specific type of movies, and that was the
that's right, Christian karate movies until he landed Rot. So he went
his big break.
Well, no, I wouldn't call it that. Although I'm sure things were broken. I just find it amusing that the people who knew Joel Wynkoop and ostensibly followed him,
right,
were Christian karate fans.
That is so awesome.
Then watched Rot.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to reach out to the God Awful Movies crew and let them know about these movies because they will fucking eat it up. Oh yeah, man,
and he's still out there, man, doing his thing.
Yeah,
he is still fucking schooling and ruling.
He's Wynkooping it up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, that's
why keep it real?
Yeah, why keep it real?
Such an idiot.
That's so good.
Gotta coop it real, baby.
Hero.
Oh man, and don't mini coop it. You know,
yeah,
major coop it.
Well,
major.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you feel like about punk in general, and do you feel like atheism has influenced punk in any type of significant way, or do you think it's irrelevant, or how do you feel about that?
Well, they sort of meant for each other, aren't they? Because
peas and
punk,
carrots.
Carrots and carrots. I think that
carrots and parsnips.
Carrots
yeah,
and other
it's carrots and the stew. Because punk was really. There's always someone talking about what's punk about. We're in the Sex Pistols,
right?
But really, if you break it down, it was about shedding the old ideas, shedding the things that weren't working, the patriarchy,
yes,
Christian supremacy, all these horrible things that really have been brought to us by the Catholic Church by ways of fucking oppression and killing and burning people, and punk really represented casting off these things. So rejecting the church and rejecting religion, and it's sort of, to me, it's essential. It's essentially punk rock.
So it's so funny because like so just follow me for a second here. I was when I was in the scene when I first came out. Now I was raised super fucking fundamentally Christian, and I was all about that shit, right? But I was part of this Calvary Chapel movement, which was all about, hey, dress however you want, you know.
Was that the solid rock thing?
I think. Well, I think solid rock. That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, and yep, there was a current of that in our scene because of that. That church, they used
solid rock. Yeah. The church. Yes,
that's right. Okay. So there were a lot of kids from that scene in our punk scene.
Yeah.
In St. Petersburg. It was part of what these youth pastors do. It's sort of like what Nazis do, where they dress themselves as the liberators to infiltrate. So to kind of show kids that they're cool and they're down with their thing, they assimilate our culture. They assimilate parts of punk rock, and they assimilate. It was the 90s, so probably Jinkos and skateboards.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we were pretty authentic punk, but like it was just weird because we were like, instead of like the Casualties or something on my jacket, it was like Punk for Christ, and shit like
that. Jacket.
Fucking guy.
Cut.
I don't know. Should I take off my shorts and jacket?
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
That one's pretty good.
And now
I'll say that the first time I heard Religious Vomit, I was like, oh, thank God. Somebody wrote a song for me. Like, finally. It was such a fucking relief. I've never heard it put so distinctly and loudly, and I can just be like, fuck yes, it makes me sick! Ah! And it really does.
Yeah, to this day, it offers me some catharsis as well.
Yeah, I want to thank them for that moment of just honesty, just brutal honesty. And standing up against the church would, in and of itself, be a punk rock act.
Yeah.
Right.
I would like to say, ironically, God bless Jello Biafra.
Honestly. Choose a god and let him bless him. It can be Vishnu can bless him. So
all of
many
them.
people can bless us.
All the ones
I've never heard of.
The man is a treasure.
He's a hero, American hero.
He holds a YouTube channel called WWJD. What would Jello do?
Jiggle. That's it. It just jiggle.
Yeah.
Oh, he does too.
He would add vibrato and snark.
Yes. You're like, fuck yo. Amazing.
But I highly suggest this channel because he's an insightful, smart dude.
Really? Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out. We might if you send me the link, I'll put it in the show notes.
What would Jello do?
No, but it seems like now that I'm looking back, it's so antithetical to the whole concept of punk, and like we were allowed to do it because they were all about getting us to, like you said, infiltrate and get out there and then spread the love of the Lord, to those poor lost souls of punk rockers. And if you look like them, they're more likely to listen to you. So it's okay.
You gotta meet them on their level.
Exactly.
Hey, do you guys like MXPX?
Do I?
Yeah, they're the jinkiest.
I've heard that about them. That was in Rolling Stone.
They kind of had to flip themselves. They went from being Christian to not being Christian.
Oh yeah, well it was no longer economically viable at their level of fame. This is true. A lot of Christian alternative bands were cast the shackles of Christianity once they got to a certain point,
right?
In order to boost sales.
So
this is another cynical ploy by these fucking people.
That's right. Yeah.
Or not to be trusted.
No, don't trust them. So that's so interesting. Yeah. So it is kind of like, and I feel like one of the biggest. One of the bands it was probably one of my favorite bands is Bad Religion, and they were right, and they were kind of one of the bands that were out there just straight telling everybody, this is what's wrong, is religion.
And to this day still are.
And this day.
That logo is not subtle.
No,
they put that shit on a t-shirt for a reason.
They are not going to assimilate that one, are they?
Right. Exactly. And it's a stark divider because like Christian, I remember being like, I love this band, but I can't wear that because I will be fucking castrated by my group of people.
Those religious types do like messing with your junk, don't they?
Castricized.
They're a little weird about that.
One of my favorite things about Bad Religion is watching them play because Greg Graffin's like his professor comes out when he's singing because he's also a professor of microbiology, right?
Yeah.
And so he does these motions like, don't you fucking get it yet? I've been saying this simple, well, not simple because he uses all those fucking words.
Yeah.
I love that you have to listen to a Bad Religion album for the first time with a dictionary in hand.
Yes.
But he's like, professors, like, damn it, you fucking morons.
It does seem like he should have an overhead projector.
It's just the embodiment of a frustrated professor. That's like exactly what that whole band is.
Yes. From now on, when a professor gets frustrated, I'm going to call it he's graffining.
Yeah. And
Don't graffin out on us, buddy.
I believe that's the name of the forehead vein that comes out when you're pissed off. It's the Grafen
vein.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So, growing up, were you were you an apostate, or did you were you always kind of skeptical of religion, just like growing up?
Oh, you'd like to check my prostate, would you? That kind of party.
Ooh, I can't wait to watch.
Well, let me get the glove on. Let me check this out.
Yes, safety first. Let's use water-based lube now, not oil-based. Never oil-based.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of a complicated question for me. I was sort of raised in a Mormon church.
Oh shit.
Yes, Mormons.
Shit.
Dumb.
Holy shit.
And I like to think that they never got in my head because I never bought it hook, line, and sinker. I was disliked in what they called Sunday school because I would ask questions that were difficult for them to answer. I wouldn't swallow their bullshit hook, line, and sinker. I'd try to answer questions, and they would give me bullshit answers.
Yeah.
And I would frequently get sent out of Sunday school, and they're very cliquey.
They sent you out? They're like, you go out, sir. You stand outside, young man.
Yeah,
you can't ask questions like that.
Yeah, you're right. If you're not going to believe what I say, take what I say at face value, you're never going to believe this.
Right, yes. Exactly. That's like the whole like.
No, sir, I am not. However, I'm going to say my adulthood because I was in my late 20s. We took a trip to Salt Lake to go skiing and visited the Mormon Visitor Center.
Oh, it's Space Jesus.
Yes, this place is This place is it's spiral shaped and leads to, you walk up and up and up to the top floor. There are these little movie theaters where they show you propaganda films.
Yep.
And people from all over the world wearing the name tag with the big wide eyes and fake smiles. Right? And they're creepy as fuck. But then you notice things like the subtle ways they give you little bits of information more and more and more, sort of like the Church of Scientology does. They just don't make you pay as much money for it.
Right. Yeah.
Where one thing that I'll use as an example is Jesus in their artwork gets whiter as you get towards the end. His eyes turn blue, his hair turns blonde. He gets whiter and whiter as you get towards the top of this.
He gets less cursed as he goes on to, cursed.
You're right about that. That is a Mormon belief.
Yeah,
Yes, that people of color are darker colored because they took a stance of non-intervention. They were Switzerland in the first war of heaven and hell. So as a punishment, God has turned them dark. Fucking
for not
cute.
Taking a side.
Fucking cute. And there's a similar myth about Native Americans, although they believe Native Americans were from Israel.
Right, yeah, that's a weird...
Checks out.
Yeah, and God was angry with them for, a God reason and turned them red.
Wow. Jesus Christ, so fucking racist.
Joe. That's our Joe. A racist con artist piece of shit. Did you know he was a grave robber as well?
What, really? I don't know if I heard this one. Is that where he got the golden plates?
They were called treasure hunters at the time.
That's true. They did rebrand themselves as treasure hunters, which I have to admit is pretty fucking clever, but I'm not sure would pass muster against, let's say, a local cop.
You don't get to be Indiana Jones now. Fuck you, man. Like, this doesn't... Come on.
He fancied himself Indiana Jones, that's for sure. But my point about this visitor temple was afterwards I sort of had a deprogramming session because I realized that they had fucking gotten into my head. They had affected my idea of myself. And that's a pretty fundamental fucking thing about existence is how you view yourself.
Right.
And it upsets me to this fucking day that they were able to do that to me. I'm a pretty independent thinking kind of person. It's hard to pass shit by me. I don't like being lied to, and thus I catch on to mistruths pretty fucking quickly. I've got an ear for it.
Right.
And nonetheless, they did it. They got through. These fucking morons. These fucking people with their cornflower blue shirts and their little name tags and shit. These motherfuckers tricked me.
Shit.
They didn't used to ride bicycles when I was a kid either. They were allowed to have cars, but now they're bikes. Like their little helmets. Because you could put like a stick in their spokes. Fuck their day up real good.
Oh, see, they had to, couldn't do that anymore now.
You couldn't do that to a car as well.
Yeah, no, that would be tough. It'd probably be worse for you, honestly, if you were trying to do that. And,
not as fun.
Probably be a bad day for everybody.
Those morons.
That's interesting. Yeah. So okay, wow. So it's more than because like I always felt like the version of Christianity that I came through, even though it was very loose as far as like how you dressed and stuff. It was Calvary Chapel, so they were like, "Hey, man, it's cool. You dress however you want, but And then they had like these extremely fundamentalist like tenets for their religion, And it was, I even had a guy call me every day to see if I masturbated or not. And I'd tell him honestly because I was like so guilty about it. I was like, yeah, man, shit. I was taking a shower and it was right there.
That
it was early in the morning.
Be on a list.
An adult was asking a child this repeatedly.
Yes. It's like
inappropriate, dude.
Yo, like, I want to get down to some crazy fucking parties, but ain't nothing like that. It's fucked up.
I have questions, but I don't want to know.
You just can't.
It was all bad. It's everything you're thinking.
That is really bad.
You're right in whatever you're assuming. I'm just telling you that.
No, I didn't masturbate yesterday because I was fucking your mom.
That's what I should have said.
hindsight's 2020.
Does humping the mattress count?
Yeah.
I just humped it a little.
Yeah. Does pillow fucking count?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a range.
Inquiring minds want to know. Like what counts as masturbation? Like how much can you clean yourself?
Yeah. Listen, the policing of sex and sexuality is just absolutely absurd and one of the greatest mind fucks that religions perpetrate.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's
completely absurd.
And that
permeated the lexicon. Like it is in all of our fucking minds, the sexual shame that the church has brought on. And they weren't light-handed about sexual shame over the years. I mean, they fucking murdered many people. Many people over this stuff. Right. And isn't it true that in 1970 or 1950 something, 1954, that they changed the word in is it Deuteronomy where they say that man should not lie with another man, and they changed it from lie with a boy to lie with another man in the 50s?
Oh no,
so
shit.
I do not.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Double check me.
Yeah, I'll check on that, but I think you might be accurate on that actually.
I think that they I don't know why the church would want to do this, but they turned the attention from pedophiles to gay people.
Gee, I wonder why.
Oh yeah.
It's almost as if they had something to hide and knew it.
Exactly. No, that is absolutely true.
I mean, it's all down to the absurdity of the butt fucking loophole. You know, like honestly. It's not like a vagina changes its very shape and essence when it is introduced to a penis. It's fine.
Right.
It can push out a kid and go back. And your penis does fuck all to it.
Right. But by injecting this idea of virginity into your mind, and it almost it's as if you are changed as a person by a dick.
Right. You know, Absolutely. And it almost is analogous to like the introduction of the what was it? The good and evil. You know, the tree of good and evil. It's like that, you know, you don't understand this thing. Now you understand this thing, and now you can't go back because you understand this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's right, and that's why Apple Computers is called Apple Computers. It's an apple with a little bite taken out of it because it's the fruit of the tree of knowledge.
Right. Yeah. Which, you know, because Q told me that there's, you know, Satanists that eat babies, and Hillary is one of them. So.
Oh shit! It always throws me off because I'm a Trekkie. So when people start talking about Q, I start thinking about the omniscient.
This motherfucker.
I should have done the full name, the QAnon, I guess I should have said.
These fucking guys.
You're the man, dude.
These fucking guys.
So,
this is a mainstream, or almost mainstream school of thought. This crazy fucking shit. But we're primed for crazy shit. And I think that I do believe that organized religion has blood on its hands, if you will, about people believing conspiracies in QAnon because we're prepped to believe fucking bullshit.
Right. Well, and
talking snakes and 500-year-old men building boats and stupid shit. Like we're.
It's quite frankly child abuse to teach this nonsense to children.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is cruel and unusual,
especially
to fuck with their brains like that.
Yes.
Yeah, especially the Christ myth. I mean, this guy was like whipped and tortured and beaten and killed because of what you're gonna do.
Right.
What the
and
fuck?
Your actions account for every whipping and beating, and that's because of you retroactively to the past. And because
Andy's
you
a
did
nice
this
guy,
thing.
and you did this to him. Not yet.
Yeah.
But you're gonna.
It drives me insane. You know, all this, and I try to be like proactive out there, like, cause you know, it's almost like the whole cave analogy. You know, that story where like, you want to go back. You want to go back to the cave and be like, hey guys, they're just fucking shadows, y'all. Like, they're not real. They're not keeping us in here captive. Like, those are just your shadows. It's not real, you know. And you want to go like help people and stuff. And the more I do it, I realize I'm sacrificing the fuck out of my mental health by doing this.
Yes.
You know, and it gets so frustrating because it's like I don't even know I don't know how to talk to these people because you're like, hey man, Trump like paid $750 in taxes, for the past however many. Like, Democrats eat babies, and you're like, I don't know how to respond to that. But his hair is stupid.
Listen, you can only eat so much tofu before you snap.
I was gonna say,
you start eating babies.
Yo,
so don't
I eat babies. Yes, I eat babies, but I pay my fucking taxes. Okay.
Not helping our case here.
I may eat babies, but I didn't defraud a child's cancer foundation.
There you go. That's probably the better argument. But at the end of that, they'd still be like, Democrats eat babies! And you'd be like, I don't know how to... Okay.
Nailed it.
Because they have to make up lies in order to make this narrative with Trump as the good guy. And that leads me into my next topic is... you guys are big into Trump, right? You like him? He's pretty cool, right? Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I got the same bronzer.
I think that it's interesting where we're at with this, the way that people view Trump as some Jesus figure, and about especially the QAnon thing, where they think Trump is some sort of savior and all that is good, and we're getting into this. Kim Jong-un thing where he doesn't have a butthole, and I see this in religion, in organized religion. I think it's the same thing. I think that's how we got these great Jesus myths and stuff, these great people, because this is how mass brainwashing works.
Right, because there's always a legend.
How it pans out. It's two sides of the same coin. It's the same thing happening with the same fucking idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's you're right. It's like it breeds that legend kind of aspect, the Robin Hood-esque kind of like, hey, and it grows over time and it gets more and more ridiculous, and that's the way those sort of those lies really work, and it's amazing, that so many people are just like, hey, I need this guy to be the good guy. I don't care if you lie to me. Just tell me what I want to hear. Okay, now this is true. This is true because I need it to be,
Right, and believing something because you believe it, something it's already done, gives you the ability to have one up on people who know better than you.
Right.
It makes you feel smart without doing the fucking work to be smart.
Exactly, and that's poignant as fuck because that's exactly where we're at right now as far as like. Having these conversations with somebody, because somebody can basically be like, well, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, hey, I got this video that shows that if you zoom in on the camera, you never see the ship's sail go over the horizon.
Flat Earth.
Yes, and so how do you explain that, And you're just like, oh my God, I have
absolutely see them drive over. You could do it with your naked eye, and we live on a beach. You can just fucking go,
but you have to
watch a ship get smaller and smaller until suddenly it goes bloop.
Yeah, or the other one I think is here's a better example. It's like, how come all the buildings aren't like jutting out from each other? Like, so when you're looking at all the buildings, how come they're not like angled away from the curve? You know what I'm saying? Like from like long. They are, but it's all about trajectory and like the trajectory of your. But that's so much to explain to these people. And it's
I
like,
mean, think about the attack on Pearl Harbor and what that would have taken Japan to do if the world was flat. They would have had to fly across the entire planet and around South America.
Well, right.
And Africa to get to Hawaii. Hawaii is very far away from Japan on a
flight. That side of the planet doesn't exist.
Well, I think that the right, unfortunately, fueled by the rise of political evangelical groups in the country, they're full on in cult thinking at this point.
Absolutely, yeah.
There is no reason. It's all about dear leader. And the only thing that gives me a flicker of hope is that the man has no true north. Right. Jerry Falwell had his true north and knew what the hell he wanted to do.
Right.
This guy doesn't. So if he were to just disappear in a confetti of circus peanuts, then no one would fill exactly his hole again.
What would it sound like? Fill his hole.
I could fill his hole right now. God damn it.
I know Pence is really busy.
I would dig him up and fill his hole.
Yeah.
Please, will someone just pick him up and fill his hole? Just get it over with.
Poor mother.
Drag the poor guy out.
Patreon goal.
I don't feel bad for anybody there except for Baron. Can we all just take a moment? Poor fucking Baron. That kid's fucked.
Oh, man. Fucked. The children of the corn kid. Yeah, I know you're talking.
Yeah, he's set for life, but he's like, he doesn't know what gravity is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he was fucked the moment they decided to name him Baron.
Yeah, that poor fucking kid. And both his parents have COVID, but he doesn't, so he does not see them. Right?
I don't know if he does or not. It doesn't seem like they're taking precautions or caring about other people.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell was like, I ain't going there. Fuck y'all.
I'm not even going there.
I'm sorry, that shit's funny. That's kind of funny.
The antidote for COVID might be in McConnell's venom sac.
Yeah. And his sprunger.
Yeah, his sprunger.
Yeah.
God, he's so creepy looking.
That's where good bills go to die. McConnell's venom sac.
That's right. They just ferment in there. Fantastic.
Oh, that's so funny. So tell me, what are your feelings about the current administration and the potential Democratic one coming in November, hopefully?
Oh, God, I hope so. I really hope so.
At this point, I almost don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
You got some wood around? Knock on it.
What Biden-Harris say, I like the fucking lip service they're paying us.
Right.
I'm going to be one of these people most likely voting for him one day, and should he win, I'll be protesting him the next.
Yeah,
and I think
that's it. Yeah.
The nice thing about them is they're welcoming that sort of thing.
Yeah, they say they are.
Okay.
At least they're probably...
It's better than,
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, I don't know.
Hold their feet up to it.
I don't know that Harris is going to give us any help with the problem of the police.
No,
this is one of the biggest problems we're facing.
It'd be like a Band-Aid, like it just stop the damage, or it'd be more like stopping an infection.
I'd hope that it was a Band-Aid. I don't think it is. I think John, remember when? All right, so John Oliver did this thing. He's a clever man, where he had a part of an interview where Joe Biden was asking, can the police just shoot the protesters in the leg instead of in the head?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And so John Oliver said, Joe Biden is very much the getting shot in the leg instead of the head candidate.
Yes. Yeah, and I totally agree with that, honestly.
It pretty much sums it up for me. Yeah, I'll take a shot in the leg instead of continually getting shot in the face.
Yeah, and that's it. But that's as good as it gets for this dude.
The police force is brutalizing us. They are just... They pay. My favorite thing is when they pay, like they do in St. Petersburg, where they pay lip service in the morning and they kneel with us and say that they appreciate our peaceful protests and they're behind us. And then at night they'll shoot tear gas and rubber bullets into a peaceful crowd sitting in a moment of silence.
Yeah, and then the crowd gets kind of pissed off, and then they're like, "Oh, fucking rioters and looters, dude!" Like well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, right. And despite that, an accredited study recently showed that Black Lives Matter protests have been 93% peaceful. And this doesn't account for agent provocateurs. It doesn't account for boogaloos and white supremacists posing as Black Lives Matters.
Right.
And it doesn't account for misrepresented police violence.
Because we really have no way to determine those things, right? Because it's a mob of people. It's not like it's the police. Like, we know when the police are like, oh, there's a couple of bad apples. And we know exactly who they are. You know what I mean?
The expression is, a few bad apples spoils the bunch.
Exactly. But it only does that when they're fighting for black rights. I want to know where these good
cops are when the rest of the cops are in riot formation shooting civilians with tear gas, which are not allowed to do to civilians of other countries because it's a war crime. But since it's against our own people, there's a loophole and they can do it.
Wow.
This is it's been known to cause women to menstruate and possibly even miscarry.
Wow.
These gases that they use. The rubber bullets they use are many of them are very large and have steel cores.
Oh.
These are nasty devices. They're meant to be ricocheted off the ground at people, but they're being shot directly.
Ooh. Yeah, I saw. There was a one. I feel like it was a journalist.
There are no good cops. It's a misnomer. It's propaganda because the job they do is dirty.
Right. Exactly. It's a system that they're working for, which
That's right.
makes
they maintain a system of white supremacy.
Yes.
And now outright fascism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you lower the bar enough, there's some ones that are not as bad as the others, I suppose. The ones that don't just murder people and shoot people's dogs every day. But that's fucking low bar.
Yeah, absolutely the lowest bar. And I mean, and this is, when people try to bring up the argument, it's like, with the few bad apples thing, and they're like, well, how come, you're using the few bad apples thing for the protests, and I'm like, okay, here's two things. First is, are they bring up black on black crime and try to do that, and I'm like, first of all, are these black people that are treating these black people, these other black people this way, do they have some sort of an authority over those black people? And like, no.
Well, listen, the whole notion of black on black crime is racist propaganda.
It is.
Why don't you ever hear about white on white crime?
No,
because it's meant to change the narrative, and paint a picture of people.
We have heard about white on white crime. It was the Joe Exotic documentary. That whole thing.
He assaulted all of us in our eye holes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carol Baskin is the hero of it.
I love just how utterly fucking Floridian that whole thing was.
It was just a Florida fucking. It was just everybody in Florida.
We all know people like that. We all know real stories like this shit.
Right, and that's where it's like completely not acknowledged. Like that's just an irrelevant argument. Like it's not relevant to what we're talking about in any way, shape, or form.
It's racist propaganda.
It is absolutely, and but
I mean the fact of the matter about the Black Lives Matter protests is that months and months and millions of people protesting with the police actively hammering people. And just as brutal as you can imagine they're being, and just as devious as you can imagine. Even in our little liberal spot in St. Petersburg, the police are being fascists. They are being bastards. They come in formation. They're ready for it. They're in full riot gear. They charge out. They seem to come out of nowhere. They seem to come out of the shadows. But as soon as they have any excuse to attack, they do.
That's it.
They attack. Right, with prejudice, and they will fucking charge and tackle and anyone they can get their hands on and give them trumped up charges. Yeah, there was one night where I witnessed a person who was upset with them because he had been shot the night before with a rubber bullet. He had this bullet, and he was showing it to them, and they were kind of ignoring him, and he got frustrated and threw it. Not really threw it at them, but threw it in their direction, kind of at their feet, like, here, you can have this back.
Right.
And they took that as a time to attack the crowd.
Oh, that was an act of...
Cops came from out of nowhere. They drugged him over the barricades, guns drawn, batons in the air. This is the last I saw because I had to run.
Yeah.
But when it comes in the paper, it's
protesters shot back.
The paper's reporting the police narrative.
Right.
They found a backpack full of mortars, which is really they got a guy who had fireworks.
Oh,
right?
Come on.
I mean, technically they can be called mortars, but you know what they're doing. They're using language to make us look like violent protesters, when really they caught an asshole with fireworks.
And that's it.
Like, why is the narrative that they caught a guy with fireworks when the police are every night shooting rubber bullets and tear gas grenades, stun grenades?
Right.
Into peaceful people, and then if a firework is thrown back, then the narrative is violent protesters, and then the narrative, it doesn't ever seem to be violent cops attack
peaceful
people once again.
Yeah,
night after night after night, and now you can see that system working when you read comments under articles about the local protests and Black Lives Matter and things that happened, like when the fucking racists showed up and pulled a gun on the Black Lives Matter protesters in St. Pete.
That was in St. Pete
a couple of weeks ago. This guy, what didn't get reported about him, all you see is like that he was a Trump supporter and an anti-Black Lives Matter activist, and somebody drew a knife at him and he pulled a gun on them. That's all you see about it. What you don't see is that this guy is from out of town. He's a notorious bigot who runs forums about inciting violence against Black Lives Matter protesters. So they organize racists. They come in from out of town, and then they follow the Black Lives Matter march, antagonizing them.
Right. And
literally, physically, and verbally. Thank you.
Right.
And antagonizing them until something happens, and then they're ready to pull a gun. They're ready with the purpose of pulling their gun and possibly shooting people. And then all of this gets washed over, and you get then you see in the comments like, oh, well, this Black Lives Matter protesters got to go. Oh, they're blocking traffic. Oh, they've inconvenienced me. It's like, what do you think a protest is? If it's not to inconvenience people, then
that's the whole
it's
point.
Not protest.
I think some families are being pretty inconvenienced by their children being murdered by the people who are supposed to be accountable.
There you go.
And it doesn't make any sense why the citizenry should be more accountable for their actions than the police.
There we
go. If you have no accountability, then you do not have authority anymore.
Exactly.
There's the bottom line. And we've spoken a lot about criminal cops and the danger of that. Well, the GOP is aiming on making miscarriages a crime.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay? Not to mention taking choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So they tout choice, and they're going to throw thousands of women in jail, let alone the women who will die.
Right.
Yep.
They're upset about dead babies. Well, I'm upset about dead women.
And
this is a huge thing that's coming up fucking soon, y'all.
Yep. Right. Yeah. And that was the next question I was going to be asking was the Supreme Court seat, and we're already kind of on that segue here. Is with the Supreme Court seat coming up, and Amy Coney Barrett as being the new person that they're gonna hypocritically shove through before with a month. When 7 months, they were like, no, that's too close to an election, dude. Come on.
That woman is a Christian extremist.
She's a psycho fucking path.
Dangerous extremist.
When she gets nominated, or when she gets confirmed, unfortunately, there will be 6 out of 9 Catholics on the Supreme Court. And I have Catholic friends, and I'm going to say that, we all say I have Catholic. Listen, but the Catholic Church is a criminal organization.
Absolutely. It's a mob.
Hands down.
It's a mob.
And again, there's that cult thinking where there's no accountability.
No.
If it was a proper religion, they would have strung up those fucking pederast priests by their fucking toenails.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
No,
and
they moved them around, hid them.
They still won't.
No, and they're
and
not
it's
even.
happened in thousands of communities. So every Catholic hospital, every mission that feeds hungry people is completely obliterated by these acts of fucking war that they are doing.
It is the Catholic version of the thin blue line.
Yeah, it is. And it's like they're so good at securing power. I'm just like we just did an episode just recently. About
power begets power, and they've been securing power for thousands of years.
Yeah, I mean, and
at the end of a sword,
they are the Star Wars equivalency of the fucking Empire. Like that, I swear to God, that is the Catholic Church, man. And it's terrifying, honestly, that they're just able to get away with what they're doing. And then not only that, but then figure out a way to enforce their religion on other people and call all the women, whores and whatever the fuck else, and make them criminalized for, doing basically women's health, things. And, it's sick. And while they have pederast motherfuckers just like getting moved around, why they hide them and be like, no, that's it. But it's sick.
And the number of communities in which that's happened around the world is staggering.
It's built right into the religion. Jezebel was framed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's totally insane, honestly.
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that the religious right has gained power, and they have devalued education, maligned public education, maligned public trust in such a way, and maligned even healthcare in such a way that when does it become the American Taliban? When does it actually become the American Taliban? When they close down schools for only girls, or honestly, with Betsy DeVos and all, it's madness. It's absolute fucking madness, and I'm feeling pretty imperiled these days.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like a dictator's trying to take over. It's weird. I don't know.
He's been here for a while. Piece of shit.
This is their guy.
Yeah. This is the guy, man.
This is your fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
Unbelievable.
And it's funny, too, and I'll give this little bit of history about me. I just recently, honestly, became an atheist, and it was because of the Trump campaign to become president. Yeah, because once he won the primary, I was just, I thought he was a joke. I was conservative leaning. I was a Christian, and I was like, this dude's, he's a joke. It's not gonna happen. And then it happened. And I was like, oh shit, now this is the guy that I have to fucking defend. Like, I have to, as a conservative and everything, I have to, and I couldn't do it. And then I was like, hold on, why am I doing this in the first place? And then I was like, hold on, let me figure out what a Republican is. Because all I knew knew what a Republican was that, hey, we're against abortion and we're against gay rights. And that was all because of my religion. And so that was those were the only things that I knew, And so I was like, hold on, what is a Republican? And let me see if I actually identify as one. And turns out, fuck no. No, I didn't, everything, And then I was like, well, why was I sticking so strong to this? And it was like, well, because I'm supposed to be against those things. Because I'm a Christian. And I was like, well, I guess I better start looking up, whether or not I should be a Christian, because I'm clearly wrong about this, and maybe I'm wrong about that, and it was...
Man, that took some bravery and some powerful logic.
Congratulations. That's pretty badass to break out of that like that. Yeah. I really hope there are a lot more people like you.
Me too.
God, me too. And that's exactly why I do this. And it was because of a podcast. I was listening to this podcast called God Awful Movies that was, they watch Christian movies and hilariously make fun of them. And then they walk you through.
MST3K for Christian movies?
Yes! Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they just walk you through the whole fucking movie and make fun of every single little detail. It's amazing. It's a great show, and I've actually we actually got to interview one of them, the main guy, on our show a bit back when COVID had first started, and and so and because I already knew the movies and everything, I was going there just to hear them make fun of movies because I knew they were terrible movies. Even when I was a Christian, I knew they were terrible movies, and so it was really funny, and then the fact that the concepts were so damaging. Of these Christian movies. And I had never really seen it that way. And so it was it just broke down my whole little Jenga set all in one little go. You know what I mean?
You did a whole lot of reprogramming in the last few years.
Yeah, in the past 4 years.
I should say deprogramming.
It is. It's deprogramming. Yeah. Because all those beliefs and everything, they were firm. And all of a sudden, they just came crumbling down, and now it's just I got to figure out how to know what's real.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I think you've earned self-care Saturday. Get some cucumber slices, take a nice bath. Honestly. That's really impressive, man.
Masturbate and only tell people you want to tell about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like joking about it, really. Because I'm fine with it now. It's cool.
Self-care, baby.
Self-care, baby.
So,
what are you doing in there? Caring for my prostate.
Doing some self-care.
Okay, I'm going to sit on my thumb, and then I'm going to...
Yeah, this is fine. This is good.
So real quick before we end up, we're running a little bit short on time here. I do want to do this little game that we play, and it's what we call the thoughts hat, or Nikki wants to call it the thinking cap. But either way, it doesn't matter.
Thinking cap is good.
I know. It actually is probably better. All right.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go with thinking cap from now on.
They won that one, I'm afraid.
So I have all these thoughts written down. I'm gonna pull them out of a cap, right? And I'm just gonna see what y'all's thoughts are on these, and they're completely random. They're all over the place, but it's just different concepts and different phrases for you to be like, what's your thoughts on this? So
if we win, do you record a voice message for us?
Do we get to watch the
voicemail
situation?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll play a winner's horn bell or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Your voice on our voicemail.
Yeah, do we get Bill Curtis or Paula Poundstone?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let me pull this out. Hold on.
Let's play the hat game.
Yeah, the hat game. There we go. Okay, here we go. MCU, DC, or Star Wars, or other?
No, they're all kind of crap.
Tim Burton universe for me, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Most of my guests,
I'm that kind of dork.
I usually know where they stand on this, and I was, because we hadn't really interacted before this, other than about punk rock, I had no idea where you stood on this.
Yeah.
I find certain superheroes infuriating. Captain America, the Ubermensch American.
He sucks at acting, but he's good at squats.
Yeah, I don't know if they realize how on the nose he really is by accident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. That's good.
And I like that they treat Batman as a hero and not a villain. Where this is an ultra rich guy whose own family's hoarding of wealth has caused the fucking conditions that have pressed people into crime. It causes that situation, and then he fucking uses his wealth to build all these toys and go and beat the shit out of these people.
I know.
He caused that problem by hoarding wealth.
Right.
His superpower is white privilege.
Yeah, it's like a less mentally ill person going and beating the shit out of definitely mentally ill people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's America, baby.
Batman is on the wrong side of the class war. Fuck a Batman.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
this is why I like Star Trek, man.
Yes,
that's your universe, baby. Your universe is Star Trek.
That's the future I want.
Okay, Star Trek.
Optimistic. It's never going to happen. Humanity is not as good as Star Trek as Gene Roddenberry thinks we are.
I don't want to hang out with trout people. Fuck those guys.
But Star Trek is the one that is the most progressive. I'd say out of all of them.
Absolutely, it's very progressive. It's they got rid of money.
Yeah.
It's the Vulcan mantra of infinite variety and infinite. Oh no, I should know this off the top of my head.
It's tough. There's a lot. There's a lot.
And people are going to hear me fuck this.
And I can't save you. I'm sorry.
Dude, and the majority of our listeners are like, fuck this guy, man. He can't
infinite variation and infinite variety and infinite combinations, something like this. Damn.
Be fruitful and multiply. No,
that's the Bible.
Wait, shit. Well, that's a bunch of crap. We're not going to do that.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's always a good one. I'm a sucker for the Marvel movies. I do love.
A word.
Yeah, I grew up on. It was Spider-Man was my favorite. So when he finally came in, I was on board full tilt.
That's fair.
But you know who's been on fire lately? It's Tarantino and the Coen brothers.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they be
absolutely.
making good westerns.
Yeah.
I didn't know I wanted to see westerns.
Me either.
Me either. I fucking hate westerns normally.
I know, but they crushed it.
They did.
The last one I liked was the one with the Bon Jovi soundtrack.
Which
Young Guns.
Oh yeah.
Call me Young Guns.
I thought you meant
I'm a cowboy.
The most recent Tarantino I liked was the one with...
That's what I thought too. I was totally on that.
I was like, that
train.
motherfucker did Young Guns? Yeah.
No, Tarantino did not do Young Guns.
That version would be dope.
Oh, that would be so good.
Make Young Guns.
That would be awesome.
Although Tarantino has been in talks about doing his own version of a Star Trek film.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, he said it would be Pulp Fiction in space, is how he described it.
Interesting. Okay.
If anybody could tell an interesting story about that, it would be him. They'd probably all take place in 2 hours in a shuttlecraft, but...
Yeah. A lot of
the blood would be good.
A lot of uncomfortable rape scenes, for...
And a lot of blood. A lot of blood. That blood budget is so good.
At the same buckets you guys had for the rat,
That was a lot of blood. So sticky.
Yeah, we paid our actors in vodka.
Yes.
Hey, that's all that's necessary.
Or nothing. They were also paid in nothing.
The fact that you get to be in this. Okay, so here's the next one. Florida COVID response. Because y'all are Floridians just like me, which is super cool. I don't normally get to interview other Floridians. And we get it. There's a certain level of, we get it to, for Floridians that everybody else just doesn't get. That we're crazy down here.
not every state has been a right to work state for as long as we have.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
That's a perfect example.
Not many other states have a yearly threat of complete elimination. You know, every year, like, if you don't get your shit and you don't have your batteries and you aren't stocked and prepared for the hurricane, you are fucked.
Yeah.
So, like,
Absolutely.
we understand, like, okay, no, you have to prepare. Don't fucking touch people. They're disgusting. Like, we have this kind of, I think, slightly more of a practical mentality, even though we're all insane gator riders, you know.
Yeah.
My idea about Floridian COVID response is that it's class war.
Well, yeah.
This is the long and short of it. If you're wealthy enough, you can isolate.
Yeah.
Stay healthy.
Easily.
If you don't have enough money, you're expendable.
You're an essential worker.
That's right. Your life is now quite literally expendable. So as long as, you're making smoothies, you can just fuck off and die.
Yeah.
The idea that Trump is coming here to Central Florida to do a rally.
I'm so mad.
Are you out of your motherfucking mind?
Spread us some more COVID.
How the fuck is DeSantis and or any of our fucking elected officials in power allowing him to do this? It's unconscionable.
Are they all fucking brain dead? Did they not understand how this fucking thing works after, 8 months?
We lost 15,000 people in Florida since March.
Yeah, but they weren't 15,000 people they care about. They're all 15,000 people.
And most of them were
they probably would have voted Republican.
They were obese and they had lung issues already. So, the numbers actually aren't that bad,
Oh my god, it's just the worst. I think those people have no value.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, if you're fighting cancer and then you get run over by a car,
yeah,
it was still the car that killed you.
Yes, exactly. Or if you have asthma and you happen to get cancer, the cancer still fucking killed you.
Yes.
God damn it. This is fucking ridiculous. What a stupid argument.
Yeah, they don't have to make real arguments. They don't care.
They're running a cult.
They don't have to care. Their feet aren't held to the fire.
No.
They've got a cult think behind them, and now their lies can be obvious. In fact, the more obvious their lies are, the better, because it gets people talking about them.
Right. Because the more of us that are, and I hate to say it, but this is sort of the way it is, where the more of us that go, hey, this is the dumbest, argument I've ever heard, gets a whole bunch more people to go, hey, they're talking about this argument, and then they use it even more.
Yeah. Cheating it's just the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
The internet has grown faster than our understanding of it has.
Absolutely, yeah. The internet has thrown us for a fucking loop, man. It's wild, But okay, so that was awesome. For the hats, the thing.
Wait, were we supposed to be talking about Spider-Man?
We got past that.
Yeah, no,
we were having fun and then we got sad again. Maybe we'll have fun.
Let's take this roller coaster back up to the top.
Yeah.
So last question of the night. Last question. If you were to do a dream punk rock show lineup, doesn't matter if they're dead or alive, what would it? You got 4 bands. I feel like 4 is right. 4 bands that you could place on the stage that you would go to the show to see them. What would the 4 bands be?
Wow, it'd be hard for me to bring people back to life and make them see 2020.
I'm trying to bring you out of 2020 with this little game here.
We're all on Mars.
Right, so that aside,
yeah,
I'd really, really like to see Crass.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
Fortunately and unfortunately for me, that'll never happen.
Right. Unfortunately,
we did get to see Steve Ignorant sing with the Paranoid Visions, and that was fucking rad. We saw them at one of these festivals, like the Mohawks and Bowling. I don't want to, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
And there were a lot of great bands and a huge crowd, but for Steve Ignorant and Paranoid Visions, there was about 50 people out there dancing for him.
Damn.
These motherfuckers do not know their roots.
But he was punk rock Picard. He was so cute.
He does. He looks like Patrick Stewart now.
He really does.
I love this about him.
It was like, oh, Papa. There we go.
Make it so.
Yeah, we'll all make it so for you, buddy. Yeah. Your first band was Crass.
So you take the second band.
That's perfect.
We're mixing them?
Yeah. What did we get, 4 bands? Did we get 2 each?
Yeah, 4 bands. Oh, no, I was going to do each of you. So you can each do different
8
lineups
bands.
if you like.
8 bands?
Yeah, 8.
Well,
so you're 4 and his 4.
We have seen a lot of bands. We make it a point to go see acts, especially if they're getting on in age or maybe they don't treat themselves well. Maybe they're going to fucking die. We make it a point to go see them because one time we had tickets to go see Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros, but we got high and drove in the wrong direction and missed it. Our friend who we were going to meet up with there fucking met Joe Strummer, smoked a joint with him, hung out backstage, the whole thing. And then about 6 months later, Joe Strummer fucking died.
It was 2 months.
Oh, my God.
2 months later, Joe Strummer fucking died.
Holy shit.
We took that lesson.
We took the lesson.
So now if they come through town and they were an important musician, they wrote one song we liked, we'll go see that shit. We saw, Donna Summers? Is that who we saw?
No, we saw Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
Holy shit.
She was incredible. Goddamn incredible.
Wow, that is so cool.
We're going to have another chance to see her again. She looks awesome.
Weeping openly. Yeah. It was so good. It was incredible. Diana Ross. I'm just thinking about her. I'm literally tearing up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try not to think about it.
We even went and saw Billy Joel's goofy ass on his last.
Oh, he was so
nice.
good.
Really good. Man, that's a fucking good show.
Turns out they're really fucking good. Like his band's amazing.
They had their shit
Believe
together.
it or not, that's a professional.
Yeah,
it's really good.
All right, so back. I would probably put bands on there I've seen. I would probably watch again. I would really like to see the late 80s, early 90s lineup of Suicidal Tendencies again.
Oh, nice. Yes.
They're
absolutely
incredible. I saw them open for Megadeth when I was a kid.
Holy shit.
Megadeth made them go on stage with only white lights, like no light show at all, and turn the volume down on them, and they were still way better than Megadeth. And this was like Symphony of Destruction, Rest in Peace era Megadeth. Like, this is a fucking good band.
Yeah.
Suicidal just fucking destroyed them, man. They were just incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they really needed the opener to not outshine the fucking headliner there.
And there's nothing they could do about it because they picked Suicidal Tendencies at the top of their game, man. Like, you fucked around and found out, Megadeth.
Don't fuck around next time. Dude. Like,
that's right.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so
far, I would like a chance to see Civil Disobedience play. They're no longer a band. 2 of their members have died. They put out one of the best punk rock albums ever, and it's like a fucking 5-song EP called "In a Few Moments of Madness." A few hours of madness. In a few hours of madness.
I feel like it was moments. What was it? I could be wrong.
Yeah. Hold on, I've got it. Let me just consult my iTunes library.
Ask Siri real quick here. Your British Siri.
Man, I hit my head a lot. My memory is not.
Dude, I don't think you know who you're talking to here.
It's a win when I can remember. And A Few Hours of Madness, it's called.
Oh, it was hours. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
That would have been a fucking cool band to see. I'd like to see, where am I with 2? I'd like to see the 3. I'd really like to see the Pissed.
Oh God, damn!
Ideas of Bulletproof was just like
I forgot all about that.
It's in my brain, like listening to the album just stuck to every fiber of my being.
Right.
Was affected by that album.
Hell yeah, the Pissed were fucking amazing. I always I remember hearing them like a long ass time ago, and I can't believe that faded away in my mind. But yeah, Pissed is fucking amazing.
And they had a way of making these things simple, you know, like an intellectual takes a simple idea and makes it complicated.
Yeah, or
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like
they philosophized it.
Right, whereas these guys took big ideas and made them simple.
Right, exactly.
I'm just gonna go. There are so many for me to choose from.
I know, right? I knew this would be tough.
I would like to see an early Devo show.
Fair, dude. Yeah, they're on mine actually. To be completely honest, Devo's.
Seen Devo a couple of times.
Oh shit!
And they're fantastic.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, we saw them 2 times in 2 days once. We followed them from St. Augustine back here to Pinellas Park when they were on tour with Blondie.
Nice. So it's funny too, because when I was watching, and this is so weird that I remember this, but when I was watching your movie, I was with with Laura, a friend of mine, and she was showing us the movie The Rot, and she was telling, and then also before we watched The Rot, we watched Devo videos, and she was like, "Dude, there's this really kick-ass punk rocker that always hangs out with Devo, and he's in every video, and he's always doing flips and fucking
That's
off."
Mass Attack.
Yeah.
Mass Attack. Yeah, man.
Yes, that's him. And I was like, oh, I love this guy, dude. Like, he's the coolest person alive.
He's very fucking cool.
An old friend of mine, his father, I'm not going to say any names, but his father used to be a coke dealer, right? And one time he sold coke to Devo. This was the mid-late 80s, and he said his account is that he had never seen anybody do that much cocaine in his life, and he was butt fucking sure they were going to die on stage that night.
Oh my god!
And now knowing that, I can see it. It sure explains Spaz Attack.
Right. Yes.
It really does.
Everything makes sense now. It's great.
Yeah. It all comes together.
Yep.
So that was the 4, correct?
I believe that's my 4. Yep.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about this, but
I'll go.
I knew it.
I will
There you
concede.
go. I'm ready. Okay, well,
turn.
of course, everybody's going to say this or the other one, but obviously the Clash, like I'd have to see the Clash.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Good
would be
call.
really important.
Good fucking
you know?
call. Yes.
Yeah, we were just thinking about Circle Jerks. We saw the Circle Jerks.
Yay! Yeah, me too.
And we've seen Off, which were totally dope. But my second is actually Susie and the Banshees.
Oh, yeah.
At that time would be a big deal for me.
That would have been great.
Okay, right on.
It would have been nice to see Sisters of Mercy when they didn't fucking suck out loud.
Yeah.
That show was such a fucking disappointment.
It was so sad. You've never seen Goths more sad
Yeah.
after.
Like,
They're even more
you found a new
disappointed
way
than they
to
are
make
with their
Goth
lives.
sad.
Yeah.
I mean, to think about it that way, when we were walking out, like it was at Janice Landing, and he was by the merch booth, and I turned to him and I said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself."
You went full evangelical on their ass.
Motherfucker looked down and like away, like he was.
He should have been. It was awful.
We were like 6 songs in. And I turned to Alex, and I was like, man, how many great Sisters of Mercy songs is this opening act going to fucking destroy before the band comes on? She's like, dude, I got bad news for you.
Yeah, I think that's them, man.
Why would they invite a cover band to play the band that we're going to see, like, music? That's weird, right? That's weird.
My brain couldn't even. Like, it just...
Brain could not understand that was actually
It had to come up with something else to latch onto. I was in denial.
It was the brothers of... Oh, that's a good choice. Ooh, okay, yeah. And then, of course, an old school Dead Kennedy show would make me slide out of my seat. I'd be so moist. That would be exceptional.
Flood my basement.
I would flood my basement. Speaking of flood my basement, the Cramps, obviously.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
That would leave the biggest, wettest snail trail of all time, seeing the Cramps. I mean, it's nothing
amazing.
like the Cramps, baby.
Hell yeah.
It's nothing like the Cramps. Yeah, could you imagine seeing them live in just some little fucking hovel?
Right, some hole in the wall, just like...
Yeah,
like
and your whole
foobar
crotch is just vibrating with the sound.
Can I pick a fifth? Because in the 90s,
You know what?
I missed my
Let's do
opportunity to see the Ramones play, to work a shift at Pizza Hut.
So cool.
And I have regretted this my entire fucking life.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Either you'd say the Clash or the other one would be the Ramones.
Yes,
I would love to see
yeah.
the Ramones at CBGBs.
Yeah.
They're like television or something.
I mean,
Some
that
of
was...
those-
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay.
When you hear
I
those
digress.
live
digress.
recordings of the Ramones, you're like, oh, fuck!
Yeah,
like,
that's what it was about. Yeah.
That's it.
There's that fucking energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, hey, y'all, thank you so much for coming on. This was so
Did you
much
get the
fun.
Oh, okay.
Thanks
Yeah, thanks for
you
having
for
us. This was
having
a lot
us.
of fun.
Yeah, you know,
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Let's all say it together. Our religion makes me sick.
Our religion makes me sick. Our religion is made up. Our religion sucks.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. No, but seriously, thank you. Thanks again. No, this was a great time. I always enjoy getting to and somebody like you that was someone that is like I said, like a local legend to me and the people that I know. You know,
unreal.
Yeah, and
unreal.
Are you
just like you?
I'm still not. I'm not convinced.
Celebrities, just like us.
Still just a legend, sir. Sorry.
Well,
no.
Norval was...
The bar must be set low in St. Petersburg.
Norval was always my PRDCT, which is punk rock dream come true.
Aww.
And now I've married my magnificent punk rock dream come true.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so cool.
I think my St. Pete heroes are Car Bomb Driver. And
Yeah, that was the other one.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No Fraud.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you know them...
We love you, Car Bomb Dave.
If you can, dude, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna try to do one of these every couple of months, and let's get Car Bomb Driver on with you guys, and let's all hang out.
We could try that. Yeah. Maybe the next one would be easier to get everybody from the curse on.
That would be good. Yeah. No, actually, you know what? Next one, let's do that. The following one, let's get like 20 people on. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah.
And do everybody.
That'll be just
no zoom up.
Utter fucking chaos.
Exactly. Oh, I'm looking for it. That would be so fun. Oh, but man, this was great. I'm so looking forward to this because, you know, like I said, like you were somebody that you were always there. Like everybody was always talking about Billy Scam, man. And I was just like, you know, I went to several scam shows. Like, there he is. That's the dude, man. That's the guy everybody's talking about right there.
And that guy can fucking shred, though, right?
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, my God. Music was amazing.
My boy!
Oh, my God. That was where some of the...
guitar hero!
I think I even, like, at the time, we were in, like, a little punk band, and I like, name-dropped y'all a couple times. I was like, yeah, we smoked a J, even though we didn't. We didn't smoke a J together. But I put it in the song just to be like, hey, here's a local punk rocker that I, know about. But,
man.
But oh man, this is so fun. So we have like a sign off, and on our sign off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say who we say fuck off to, and then all of us say fuck off to these people together.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
All right. So what do we?
In fact, there's a curse song where we end the song like that.
No shit. Oh, I love this.
It's called Well Mauschwitz.
All right, we're gonna have to link that in the show notes, like for sure. Along with, and we are gonna get. I would like to get a clip from y'all so that we can play like a 30-second clip of the most badass song y'all have, so that we can, grab y'all some listeners.
All right,
from
no problem.
These listeners. So what do we say to the haters, discriminators, and masturbators, shamers?
Oh,
You can't shame my